Hey guys, gals, and others, it's the Cannabis Crone. I just wanted to do a quick mini-pod about some of the stuff that I've been seeing about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Now the reason I've been following this is not so much because of who it is, but because of what it is. Excuse me. Sorry. Everything starts running as soon as spring comes because it's allergy season. But what I wanted to talk about was some of the things that I've heard and seen on YouTube about the trial and about domestic violence in general. Now, this is something that's in my wheelhouse. I was domestic violence outreach and education coordinator for over 22 years. Also a women's advocate, children's advocate, and I advocated for men as well, although not nearly as many, because statistically speaking, women are still about 75% more likely to be abused than a man. That's not to say there are not male abusers, or male victims. There are male victims, there are lots of female abusers, but statistically speaking, women are still up here as far as being abused, and men are right about here. So, and that was something I wanted to correct, because The Hill had this guy from a men's group on there talking about how the same amount of men and women are being abused every year, and you know, it's just not true. So when something like that is said, I need to correct it. On the same vein, though, I absolutely, unequivocally believe that Amber Heard, in this case, is the aggressor. She is the abuser. She's a sociopath with some major narcissistic tendencies. And no, I'm not a psychologist, but I've worked with people long enough, especially in the domestic violence realm, that I can see a lot. You know, give me the evidence, give me the testimony, let me pick through it, and I'll tell you what's going on. As far as my qualifications go, I do have a curriculum vitae that would probably get me recognized as an expert witness in any courtroom when dealing with a domestic violence case. I mean, I do, you know, I'm not just blowing smoke here. I know what I'm talking about. One of the so that guy that came on and was talking, I didn't watch The Hill after that, but I'm hoping Kim Iverson, you know, cut in and read that guy the Riot Act, because what he was saying was absolutely ridiculous in a lot of ways. I know that these male groups jump up and try and hitch their cart to whatever case happens to be, you know, pushing their narrative. But the bottom line is that it's not really about the male-female dynamic or the male-male dynamic or the female-female dynamic. Always, when you're dealing with domestic violence, it's about power and control. One partner has all the power and control and is using it to manipulate and to abuse the other partner. That's it. Now, you can break it down into different dynamics as far as what does domestic violence look like between a gay couple, two men, or a gay couple of two women, or a heterosexual couple of a male and a female. You can break those down, and there are differences. But the broad umbrella that everything fits under is the power and control, and that you know, and you can tell that Amber had the power and control in that relationship. There was another thing that this guy on The Hill had said. He said the dynamic was anytime, and when you say anytime, that's really a broad paintbrush to be stroking with. You know, you're not going to get those little details, and you're not going to see what's really going on. But this gentleman said that anytime there is a domestic violence relationship between a male and a the female is the aggressor, it's always between a strong woman and a weak man. Again, no, that's false. That's wrong. This guy was wrong, and I hope that they called him on it. It has nothing to do with strength in the partners, because if you're looking at a couple, and one is the abuser and one is the victim, they are both damaged goods. So the abuser is not stronger than the victim. They just know how to manipulate better. They just have it in their wheelhouse how to control people, how to manipulate, how to be charismatic, and yeah, so, you know, you take that for what it is. The other thing, I was really surprised that nobody has talked about the corruption of the ACLU in this case. Never have I seen the ACLU actually want to step in and provide a character witness for a domestic violence case, first of all. The ACLU is mainly, you know, to go after organizations that are, you know, what is the word that I'm looking for? Discriminating against other people, or not giving them services, or somehow I just totally lost my speech. I do that. That's one of the symptoms sometimes of I first thought it was my traumatic brain injury, but it's also kind of a symptom of the neurodivergence that I have, the autism. So, but you forget how to speak. Like, you just, like, everything kind of, the English language boils down to 3 words. It doesn't last very long, but it's very frustrating. So anyway, the ACLU's position is they're supposed to stand up for people's basic human rights against these conglomerates and these organizations that really, that can really just run roughshod over the poor working class. You know, that's what they're there to make sure that people get their rights. They're there to make sure that corporate America does not get too powerful, that they are not held accountable. And so I was very surprised when they wanted to provide a character witness. I was even more surprised when I found out that she had given them, you know, like, her, Johnny, and Elon Musk had in her name, had given the ACLU a combined amount of like $3.5 million. And then suddenly, then they want to make her their ambassador. And then we find out that Elon Musk is on the board of directors and is a very huge donor to the ACLU. So, all of this stuff, no. It is all a conflict of interest, and the ACLU just lost their integrity. So now, and this is a very important thing, because we've seen organizations that are supposed to help us lose their integrity. The FDA, the CDC, most governmental programs, our entire healthcare system, you know, so there's really nothing we can trust anymore. And now the ACLU falls under that category. So that's my 2 cents. I do believe that Johnny Depp is the victim. I hope that after all of this settles, he can get some counseling from a domestic violence expert who can help him isolate the things in his personality that have allowed him to feel unworthy, because that's why he was easier to trap in this kind of relationship. Johnny needs to feel worthy, and I think in a lot of ways he doesn't, and that stems from his upbringing, I'm sure, and a lot of things that went on in his life. But, you know, it's never too late to start feeling like we are worthy, because we are worthy. Nobody deserves to be abused, whether you are a male, a female, whether you identify as something else. Nobody deserves to be physically or emotionally abused. Down in the links, I will have a few resources that I know about that are really good resources. And even if you're in another state, there's still some really great resources. There is this thing that was created in Duluth, at the Duluth Women's Shelter, and it's called the Power and Control Wheel. And I'll try and find a link to that and leave that down as well. I'm going to leave a bunch of links because I want anybody out there who is in an abusive relationship to realize that there is another side to this, and you can get to that other side. But reach out for help. There's help in every state. There's help in every community. There is somewhere that you can go to find help from domestic violence. So stay strong. You can survive this. You're all worthy of healthy, whole, good relationships. I want to apologize for my squinting. Lupus is kicking in. I'm having another kind of a little bit of a flare up, and right now it's my eyes. I get real extreme eye sensitivity, and my glasses are in the car, which Andy has at work. So there you go. I hope everyone has a beautiful day. And again, look at those links if you feel like you need any little extra help, a little extra support, or a little information from another loved one in your life, because we all have people that we know that are going through a toxic relationship. And so it helps to be armed with some information on how to help them. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And remember, a lot of these people that are doing this about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial have no inkling of the dynamics of domestic violence. Again, it's all about power and control. Love you guys. Namaste.